From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, I'm Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Thursday, April 20th. Another warm day is going to be in store for our Thursday, but that's pretty much it for a little bit of stretch in our future. It will be breezier with gusts up to 35 to 40 miles per hour at times, and then the cloud cover is going to increase tonight with some scattered showers and isolated storms developing. Highs are going to get into the low 80s today. Indy will be very close to record high territory, as well as the record sits at 85 from 1915. Another thing to note is that this warm, breezy air in conjunction with low humidity is going to yield an elevated fire risk for this afternoon. There is a red flag warning in place in southern Indiana, so keep that in mind and then prepare for some rain in our future. Several shootings to cover from this morning and last night. The most recent happened around 7 this morning. Police say someone was shot to death on the Far East Side. It happened at Breen Drive and Brentwood Avenue near 38th and Post. Not much more information is coming out of that scene. All we know is that one person is dead. We don't know if they have a suspect, if they are looking for anyone. So as soon as we get more information on that, just tune into midday. Also follow along at wishtv.com. That shooting happened not long after IMPD was at the scene of another shooting, talking just exasperated.
A family has lost a father. A family has lost a brother. A family has lost a loved one today. That's not okay.
IMPD says officers found a man shot to death in the middle of Dexter Road near Riverside Park just before 5:30 this morning. Police haven't released any other details, only saying they're tired of the violence.
Our community is frustrated. Our detectives are frustrated. Our officers are frustrated. Another homicide in our city. It's not acceptable and it's not okay to shoot someone and take the life of another individual.
We are working to learn the name of that victim and what led to the shooting. Again, more updates at wishtv.com. Then, last night, Indianapolis police say a shooting left a man critically wounded on the near north side. It happened just before 9 on Beckwith Drive at the New Bridges Apartments. That's just off East 25th Street. At last update, IMPD told our crews that were on the scene last night that medics took the man to the hospital in extremely critical condition. No other information on the victim, a possible suspect, or what led up to the shooting has been released. A jury has delivered a not guilty verdict on all counts for one of the drivers accused in a deadly crash in a school crosswalk. Hannah Crutchfield was 7 in September of 2021 when an SUV hit and killed her and injured her mother and a crossing guard. It happened outside George W. Julian School. Prosecutors charged 2 drivers, Terrell King and a 17-year-old girl, saying their case of road rage started a chain reaction that led to the tragedy. According to online court records, the jury in King's trial took 4 hours last night to find him not guilty on all counts. A member of the Delaware County Council is commenting on social media posts in which he claims he now identifies as a woman of color. His critics see the post as hurtful sarcasm and believe he's making a mockery of a real issue. Councilman Ryan Webb made the announcement in a Facebook post last week. It's since been shared dozens of times and received hundreds of comments, both supportive and critical. In a statement Webb gave to iTeammate, he says in part, "My American Indian heritage is not up for debate, although many would like it to be. The process of identity exploration is complex, and oftentimes at the end of our personal journey, we end up right back where we started." Webb says he will continue to use the he, him pronouns and that this is his authentic self. A bar owner in Bloomington is weighing in on the controversy over Bud Light and transgender social media star Dylan Mulvaney. McKinley Minifield owns Fairfax Bar and Grill. A recent partnership between the beer and Mulvaney has led to very public displays of disdain from conservative critics. Minifield says that the situation angered some of his customers, so he put up a post on the bar's Facebook page saying he'll keep stocking the beer and will ask intolerant customers to leave. The post has since gotten more than 550 comments, some supporting the decision, others opposing it.
We're a local dive bar in southern Indiana, right? There's a lot of ideas that get tossed around here, but I've never dealt with anything so overtly hateful as I have recently.
Minifield put the post up just more than a week ago. He tells News 8 he's not seen a drop in business since the controversy started. A new national documentary is using the story of an Indianapolis woman to shine a light on black homeowners and their fight for racial equity in Indianapolis. Carlette Duffy hosted a screening of Our America Lowballed at the AMP 16 Tech last night. We introduced you to Duffy in 2021. She was trying to sell her home at the time. Duffy decided, after 2 disappointing home appraisals, that she would have a white woman stand in for her. And at that appraisal, the third one, her home more than doubled in value. The story quickly made national headlines. Now Duffy is joining other Black and Latino homeowners as they fight for fair home appraisals.
It was really traumatic going through this process because it's like you're just evaluating every single piece of yourself and you're taking it apart.
The documentary is available to watch in full online. The hard-hit southern Indiana city of Sullivan is working to recover as quickly as possible from the recent deadly tornado there. The city's director of public works said yesterday that the recovery looks remarkable. The EF3 tornado that hit Sullivan was the strongest of 23 to hit Indiana on March 31st and April 1st. 3 people died and much of the city was destroyed. The city's mayor says he's thankful for the state and federal leaders who have helped.
The entire homes and the entire families that were basically ripped upside down here, they're not statistics on a paper. They're not on a spreadsheet to send to the federal government, right? They're our friends, they're our family, they're our neighbors. So first and foremost, they were our top concern.
While progress has been made, city leaders say there is a lot of work left to be done. 2 people are dead and several more are hurt in Oklahoma in the latest round of severe weather to cut across several states. Authorities say a tornado hit Cole, just south of Oklahoma City. It flattened farm buildings with lightning flashes through the sky. Storms knocked out power for many. At the peak of the problems, more than 23,000 were in the dark in Oklahoma. The region is bracing for more weather problems today. The Supreme Court is allowing women access to a common abortion drug at least for another day. Justice Samuel Alito issued a 1-sentence order yesterday, giving the High Court more time to consider whether to allow restrictions on mifepristone to take effect or keep the drug widely available. Justices had initially given themselves a deadline of midnight last night to decide whether a judge in Texas can revoke the FDA approval for the drug. The court now plans to issue its final ruling by Friday night. A federal judge says House Republicans can question a former Manhattan prosecutor about the criminal case against former President Donald Trump. The judge handed down the ruling yesterday, clearing the path for Mark Pomerantz to speak to the House Judiciary Committee. The current Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg, asked a judge to block the testimony, but she ruled that there's no legal basis to do so. She also acknowledged what she called political dogfights surrounding the case, saying her ruling does not endorse either side. A new survey shows a split in public opinion concerning the 2 major investigations into Trump. According to a new Associated Press NRC poll, 4 in 10 adults believe Trump acted illegally in New York. Just more than 5 in 10 believe he broke the law in Georgia, where he's under investigation for interference in the 2020 election vote count. The man accused of shooting a teen who rang the wrong doorbell last week is pleading not guilty to felony assault charges. 84-year-old Andrew Lester was in the courtroom yesterday and entered that plea. As we reported, the judge released Lester on a $200,000 bond. Lester is accused of shooting 16-year-old Ralph Yarl in the head and arm after Yarl went to the wrong address as he was trying to pick up his younger siblings. Lester claims he shot Yarl because he thought Yarl was trying to break into his home. Lester is due in court again June 1st. Yarl is now recovering at home. The family of Tyree Nichols officially filed suit against the city of Memphis and its police officers over Nichols' death. We reported yesterday that this suit was likely coming, and we now know the family is seeking $550 million in the wrongful death suit. The family accuses officials of allowing aggressive police tactics to go unchecked despite warning signs. The lawsuit seeks a jury trial and financial damages. As we've reported, 5 officers are charged with brutally beating Nichols during a traffic stop in January. Nichols died 3 days later. Virginia dignitaries helped commemorate the reopening of a Walmart that was the scene of a mass shooting last November. Chesapeake's mayor, Rick West, led the ceremony Wednesday morning. A manager opened fire at the store 5 months ago, killing 6 people and wounding 4 others. He then turned the gun on himself. Walmart spent $200,000 to renovate the break room where the shooting happened. There's also a memorial to remember the victims outside. City leaders say also the reopening means nearly 300 people can return to work. 3 people are under arrest in Alabama, accused in a mass shooting at a Sweet 16 party. Police say they expect to arrest others, too. The gunfire at the party in Dadeville left 4 people dead and 32 others injured Saturday night. At least 2 of the people now in custody are teenagers. Investigators are not saying what the motive for the shooting may have been. And happening today, you can learn how to spot a storm and report it to the National Weather Service. Weather spotters are key when issuing an effective warning. They assisted the National Weather Service earlier this month when a tornado destroyed parts of Whiteland. Thankfully, no one died in that storm. You can join the team by participating in the Skywarn Storm Spotter course. Tonight, students will learn what to look for and how to report a storm. The free 2-hour event starts at 6 tonight. Pre-registration is required. Also happening today, SpaceX will try again to launch the world's largest and most powerful rocket. Starship was poised to blast off on Monday, but NASA says a stuck booster valve postponed the launch. SpaceX says the rocket will eventually be used to send people and cargo to the moon and Mars. There are no astronauts on today's flight. Starship's scheduled to blast off from Texas just before 9:30 this morning. To business headlines, a record 69% of the public holds negative views about the economy, both now and in the future. It's according to the latest CNBC All-America Economic Survey. Just 24% say now is a good time to invest in stocks, also the lowest reading in the survey's 17-year history. Despite the negative views on the economy, 63% of employed Americans are not worried about losing jobs, up 5 points from November. And 37% of respondents expect their wages to increase in the next year. Disney is reportedly ready to cut thousands of jobs in the second wave of layoffs. Bloomberg reports the pink slips could come as soon as April 24th. Meta told its North America-based employees to work from home this week as it begins a second round of layoffs that will immediately cut 4,000 jobs. It's part of a plan to eventually cull 10,000 jobs. The job cuts will affect positions at the flagship social network Facebook, as well as Instagram, WhatsApp, and the Reality Labs virtual reality division, according to the Bloomberg report. Facebook users between May of 2007 and December 2022 can submit a claim for their share of a $725 million class action settlement related to Facebook's relationship with Cambridge Analytica, which harvested data from 87 million Facebook users. Meta, the parent company of Facebook, did not admit any wrongdoing as part of the settlement. Facebook users can make a claim by visiting wishtv.com and look for this in the As Seen On section. In Indiana, a newly released forecast says the state will bring in about $1.5 billion more in taxes over the next 3 years than first predicted. The numbers come as state lawmakers are racing to hammer out the final pieces of the state's next budget. Lawmakers have until the end of the next week to finalize the budget and send it to Governor Holcomb's desk. And finally, Wish TV is again working to expand diversity in newsrooms. We're celebrating the launch of our Multicultural Media Producer Program. News 8's multicultural reporter Katir Winfrey looks at how this can ultimately expand coverage for communities traditionally ignored.
The stage, or in this case, the office, is set, ready to welcome in the first multicultural media producer program cohort.
For far too long, there have been communities and people systemically left out. So when we come to market, we bring the full force of the firm with us.
Wish TV has been leading the charge in the market to expand coverage of issues impacting diverse and marginalized communities, and is now expanding that work, training up students to eventually fill producer positions around the country.
As we're considering the landscape of the environment today, we're really particularly interested in bringing in more diverse individuals into the leadership ranks in newsrooms across America.
The program is made possible through a partnership with the DeJuan and Tina McCoy Foundation, Wish TV, Circle City Broadcasting, Ivy Tech Community College Indianapolis, and J.P. Morgan Chase, whose $150,000 investment will help launch the first cohort. It's a 1-year certificate program at Ivy Tech. Education will center on how newscasts are written, produced, and broadcasted. The program is gaining attention as the National Association of Broadcasters Leadership Foundation and CBS News and Stations are supporting the MMPP.
I think it's very exciting that this program is being launched right here in Indianapolis.
Open to students from all backgrounds with the focus on increasing the number of qualified people able to produce and influence news coverage. Students will complete 9 courses and wrap up with a 16-week internship at Wish TV.
One of the goals of the program is to become a sustainable program to create a pipeline of qualified news producers,
helping bring people into a career they may have never considered or thought possible. Reporting, Katira Winfrey, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and like us on Facebook.
Students interested must be spring high school graduates applying to Ivy Tech or current Ivy Tech students with completed FAFSA. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.